Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Anjum Aleem from Springfields School, Masabtank, biology teacher for class 10th. Children, we are doing revision for the first lesson, nutrition. We are in the session 4, that is day 4. Now, today I will be showing you the slides of human digestive system and also the digestive enzymes. How does the process of digestion takes place? Along with that, we are going to see the flow chart of the human digestive system, and also we will see some terms like indigestion and constipation, etc. Kindly watch the video with full concentration and attentively and listen to it attentively. First of all, you must know what is digestion, right? Digestion is the process in which the food containing large insoluble molecules is broken down into small water-soluble molecules. So, the process in which the food containing the large insoluble molecules is broken down into small water-soluble molecules is called as digestion. Then what is absorption? The process in which the digested food passes through the intestinal wall into the bloodstream is called absorption. Digestion is followed by absorption. Digestion is mechanical and chemical reduction of indigested nutrients which can be then converted into energy for use. Human digestive system consists of a long alimentary canal that includes mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum and anus. In addition to this, liver and pancreas, of course duodenum, are also participating in the digestion. Now let us have a look here. First I will be teaching to you about the human digestive system. Our digestive system starts from mouth. So the food that we take it into the mouth is first masticated with a set of teeth. Yes, children. This is called as the mastication of food, and the tongue helps by rolling the food from this side to that side, and the teeth will grind and chew the food. There are 3 pairs of salivary glands which are present in the mouth when we secrete the saliva. Saliva contains enzyme which is called as ptyalin, or you can call it as salivary amylase, which actually acts on carbohydrates and converts them into maltose. So the digestion starts in the mouth itself, because there the saliva is present, secreted by the salivary glands, and it converts the carbohydrates. It acts upon the carbohydrates, converting carbohydrates into maltose. This masticated food is called as bolus. Bolus is then, by the movement of peristaltic, it rolls down the esophagus, the second part of the digestive system. Esophagus is a long tube. It is having the inner lining of mucus, that is slimy thing is present, which helps in rolling down of the food. And then it enters into the stomach. There are sphincters present in the stomach at the place where esophagus and stomach are joining, and also at the place where the duodenum and the stomach are joining. These sphincters acts like valves and allows the inflow of the food. The food is stored in the stomach for 3 to 4 hours. And the stomach contains the gastric juices. It also contains the enzymes and the hydrochloric acid, HCl. Hydrochloric acid helps in the digestion of the food and also in killing the germs and bacteria. The gastric juice here in the stomach, gastric glands are present, and the gastric juice contains the enzyme pepsin, which acts on proteins and converts them into peptones. And as I told you, HCl will change the food in the stomach. The food in the mouth is in the alkaline state, whereas the food in the stomach is in the acidic form. And this HCl will kill the bacteria also. Now the food becomes the soupy like, so it is called as a chyme. The food now from the stomach passes through the curved shaped structure which is called as duodenum. Can you see? Beside the pancreas, the curved shaped structure, it is not labeled here, but it is called as duodenum, that curved structure. The food enters into the duodenum. In the duodenum, the hepatic duct from the liver and the pancreatic duct from the pancreas opens into the duodenum. The liver contains a juice which is called as the bile juice. Bile juice is the only digestive juice which contains no enzymes. It helps in the emulsification of fats, that is, the large molecules of fats are broken down into the small molecules, which is called as the emulsification. So remember, if they ask you which digestive juice does not contain the enzyme, you write bile juice. It contains the pigments biliverdin and bilirubin. This bile is secreted into the duodenum by the hepatic duct, and the pancreatic duct, it releases from the pancreas, the pancreatic juices are releases. Pancreatic juice contains 3 enzymes: amylase, trypsin and lipase. Amylase acts on carbohydrates, converting them into maltose. Trypsin acts on proteins, converting them into peptones, and lipase acts on fatty acids, converting them into on fats. Lipase acts on fats, converting them into fatty acids and glycerol. So remember children, amylase will act on carbohydrates and convert them into maltose. Trypsin and pepsin, they act on proteins and convert them into peptones. And lipase acts on fats and converts them into fatty acids and glycerol. From there, the digested food enters into the small intestine through the duodenum. And in small intestine, mostly we have the intestinal juices present. They contains the enzyme called the peptidases and the sucrase. They again help in the digestion. Leftover digestion takes place in the small intestine. Moreover, absorption takes place. Finger-like projections called microvilli are present in the small intestine, which helps in the absorption of the nutrients. And these nutrients are passed into the blood through the microvilli. From the small intestine, the undigested food is going into the last part of the digestive system, which is called as the large intestine. In the large intestine, no more digestion takes place, only the absorption of water takes place. And the undigested and the waste material is stored in the rectum, and it is excreted out through the anus, which is called as the feces. And the process is called as a defecation. Children, let us now summarize and see the flowchart. The food from the mouth enters into the buccal cavity through pharynx and esophagus. It enters into the stomach, cardiac stomach and pyloric stomach. From the stomach, it enters into the duodenum, where we have the liver and the pancreas openings into the duodenum. From duodenum into small intestine, then large intestine, finally stored in the rectum, and it is ejected out through the anus. This flowchart is very important. It can be asked in the exam. Now let us have a look at the digestive enzymes. This is just for revision, children. It is there in your textbook. Salivary glands secrete saliva. In the buccal cavity contains the enzyme amylase, which acts on carbohydrates and converts them into maltose. Stomach contains the gastric glands, which secretes the gastric juice and the HCl. and it acts on an enzyme present pepsin, which acts on proteins and converts them into peptones. Liver secretes bile juice into the duodenum, and it acts on fats and helps in the emulsification of fats. Pancreas secretes the pancreatic juice, which contains the enzyme amylase, trypsin, and lipase. As I told you, amylase acts on carbohydrates, converts them into maltose. Trypsin acts on proteins and converts them into peptones. And lipase acts on fats and converts them into fatty acid and glycerol. Intestinal glands secretes in the small intestine, they secrete the intestinal juices, which contains the enzymes called the sucrase, lactase, lipase, and leftover digestion takes place in the small intestine. Moreover, the absorption takes place, absorption of the nutrients. And of course, in the large intestine, the mucus will be there, which helps in the lubrication of the fecal matter. So, no digestive enzymes are present in the large intestine. I have one chart also, which can just help you in just doing the revision or memorizing what happens in the mouth. The food is chewed in the mouth and the digestion starts in the mouth. Digestion of carbohydrates starts in the mouth. Then in esophagus, peristalsis takes place and pushes the food down into the stomach. In stomach, digestive juices and hydrochloric acid present. Hydrochloric acid kills the bacteria and the enzymes breaks the protein into the peptones. The liver secretes the bile juice, which is stored in the liver and which break down the fats, which is called as emulsification. Pancreas also secretes the pancreatic juice, which contains the enzymes which acts on carbohydrate, proteins, and fats. Small intestine, it receives the food, already digested food, and further digestion and absorption takes place in the small intestine with the help of microvilli. And large intestine, where the absorption of water takes place and the undigested and the waste is stored in the rectum, and the solid waste passes through the rectum in order to leave your body. So this is the chart sequence. Now children, coming to the indigestion. What do you understand by the word indigestion? Indigestion is defined as a difficulty of food digestion in the stomach. It leads to pain or discomfort in the digestive system. Or we can also say that it is a general term used when there is difficulty in digesting food. What are the causes of the indigestion? Inadequate digestive enzyme production, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating, ingestion of spicy food. Ingestion means taking in spicy food. Then, if these are the causes, then how can we avoid the problems related to digestion? Number 1, have simple, well-balanced meals. Number 2, eating food in a leisurely manner, not in a hurry. Thoroughly masticating the food. Number 3, thoroughly masticating the food. Number 4, avoid taking violent exercise soon after the eating, before or after eating. Number 5, drinking plenty of water and having regular bowel movements. This is how we can avoid the problems of indigestion. If people continues to have the indigestion, it may lead to ulcers, acidity and ulcers. So, the busy schedule of life should be avoided and the food should be taken in a leisure manner. That is, in a relaxing way. We should relax time to time, not tensed up. We should not stress ourselves. Then what is vomiting? Vomiting is the body method of getting itself rid of unwanted or harmful substances from the stomach. Getting rid of unwanted or harmful substances from stomach. The peristaltic movements of the stomach and esophagus reverse their normal direction and the food is expelled. There are various causes of vomiting: indigestion of toxins, food poisoning, indigestion, overeating, motion sickness, mental stress, gastrointestinal infection, or ulcers. Vomiting can occur in any of these cases. When we have a greenish vomit, usually it is called as the bilious or liverish. We get a bitter taste. It is often the result of having eaten rich meals over several days. When the liver is unable to cope up excessive fats, we get a feeling of nausea. So we should better avoid fatty foods. Now coming to the constipation. What is constipation, children? Yes, any idea? Constipation is difficulty or infrequent passage of stool, hardness of stool, or a feeling of incomplete evacuation. Yes. What do we know about the constipation means? It is the incomplete. See, children, incomplete evacuation of stools, feces. Expulsion of waste is very important. So what do we need to do to avoid the constipation? First, we should know what are the causes of constipation. Eating of food in low calories, low fibers, not drinking enough water, not getting enough exercise, changes in your regular routine such as traveling or eating or going to bed at different times, eating large amount of milk or cheese, and stress. These are the causes of constipation. Then, how can we avoid the constipation? By taking the fiber-rich food. You know roughages? Yes, they contain the fibers. All fruits and vegetables. Intake of plenty of water can prevent the constipation. So today we have seen process of digestion in humans, digestive enzymes, and the terms indigestion, vomiting, and constipation. I am going to read few questions. Please note them down. They are important questions from the worksheets. Draw the diagram of human digestive system and label it. Draw the flowchart of alimentary canal showing passage of food. Write down the important parts of human digestive system and write how the food changes in those parts. Compare the process of digestion in stomach and small intestine. Explain the role of bile juice in digestion. List out the enzymes of pancreas, mention the food on which they act, and write the end products. How can we prevent indigestion? What are the reasons of vomitings? The problem of indigestion may lead to health problem. Justify. Prepare slogans to create awareness on good health and balanced diet. What precautions should we take to prevent the ulcers in the gastrointestinal tract? You will find the answers in the PDF provided to you along with this video. Kindly go through all the questions and the answers in the PDF and complete your notes. I hope you understood the concept and enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching this video.